It's your boy Splashy, and today we got a different type of tier list coming up. We got basically like the best players of 2K22 tier list, and when I say that, I mean like we gon' matter of fact, let's just get straight into it.
The third seeded Jazz Gaming at point guard from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's Splashy.
Should've came in right there. I ain't gonna lie.
We got the cards that ran specific eras, and when I say ran specific eras, we got like season 1 run, season 2 run, if they was good for the time, if they was game changers, if only specific people could use them, if they were good for their time, etc, etc. You see the tiers. We got everlasting, you should know who's gonna go in there. We got game changers, we got user friendly, we got good for its time, we got overrated. This is gonna be a little bit of nostalgia so we can remember what 2K22 really was like. So it's gonna be pretty hard, but I think I should be able to remember every season that most of these cards is from. Like, I played with every single card. I know what everybody did for their time, so we should be straight. Starting right away, we got Isaac Bonga. Isaac Bonga from season 5. Even though I know my no money spin people might hang me, you know, listen, bro. He was not good. Like, he wasn't good. It's just, y'all always have this thing where y'all get these specific cards and y'all just gas them. He wasn't really good for him from season 5. I like that he had his little Ami or whatever, but if that same card came out and it was a different name, y'all wouldn't be saying he was as good as he is. So I'm gonna put him in overrated right out gate. We got VV. For VV, I'm gonna put him in good for his time. He was season 1, back when we didn't have no point guards. I think he did his thing. A person who's probably missing from this list is Kyrie. Kyrie, I would have him in good for his time too. I have forgot to add Kyrie to this list as well. But Kyrie and VV will both be in good for his time because they were like in season 1 when we had no point guards, like we did what we had to do. We got James Harden. James Harden was the first, I say, game changer because he was an AI killer. Like, the CPU couldn't guard him, and when off-ball was dumb overpowered, he had the best dunks. His dribble style was real sluggish, and it got him to where he needed to go. So I put him as the first game changer. Then we got our first user-friendly in Josh Smith. I think the only people I saw using Josh Smith, and the person who put me on, shout out Dill, was me and Dill. And if you could shoot with him, he had a 74-3. We didn't have coaches boosting three-pointers like that. And he had no hot spots, no shooting badges. Couldn't add nothing to him. If you could shoot open with him, I remember winning a lot of wagers and him dogging out Dikembe, dogging out Will, dogging out Shaq. I think he was one of the best starting big men if you could shoot with him. So I'm going to have him in user-friendly right out gate because Josh Smith used to put in pain for sure. We got Kawhi. We're going to put Kawhi in game changers right out gate because he was, man, listen. He was running stuff on the defensive end in season 1. Him and LeBron. Oh, look at LeBron. Throw LeBron right next to him. They were the two best defenders on the game in season 1 next to ML Carr. Like, it was almost nothing you could do. Speaking of ML Carr, he's also right here. I'm gonna put ML Carr in user friendly because it was tough to shoot with him. Him and Josh Smith were the same thing. 74-3, no hot spots, tough jump shots, kind of slow. But for season 1, if you knew how to shoot with them, these were two of the best people you could have in your lineup at the time. We got Buddy Hield. I'm gonna put Buddy Hield in because in season 3, when the New Year's resolution packs came out, some people use Buddy Hield. It was more the people who was no money spent. If you evo him, like, he was one of the few people that like quick. He wasn't bad. It's just he wasn't really that good. But I won't go as far to say he was overrated at all. We got Melo. Melo's gonna go in game changers because Melo lasted. Melo was the best small forward on the game from level 40 until season 2 came back around and they started dropping small forwards again. Melo lasted so long. He was so good without being able to dribble. The only thing that was messed up about him was on current gen. He still wasn't able to shoot in the corner, but I think he did his thing for season 1. Man, this brings back so many memories. I hope y'all ready for 2K23 because I know I am. But let's keep going. We got Bobo. Bobo, I almost want to put him in everlasting, but we're going to put Bobo in game changer because for him to be a diamond in season 5 who came out to do what he did, like, he was crazy good. You feel me? When I say crazy good, he was crazy good at the time. Not gonna lie to you. We got Hito. Hito's our second person who I'm most likely gonna put in overrated because when he came around in season 3, I didn't think he was that good. I just think y'all, whenever Hito gets a car, y'all live in the past so much thinking he's 2K19 Hito, or y'all think he's 2K20 Hito. Like, he's not gonna have a car like that again unless the jump shot is like glitch. Klay Thompson, I wanna almost put him in everlasting. And the only reason I'm gonna put him in everlasting is for how long people had this Diamond Klay in their lineup. It was ridiculous. Like, I know everlasting supposed to mean till the end of the year, but listen, for how long people had this Diamond Klay that came out in season 2 in their lineup, he was in people's lineup until the next Klay dropped in season 4. That's 2 full seasons, and he came out towards the middle of season 2. Like, so I'm gonna have Klay everlasting because he ran a whole meta by himself. He was the shooting guard that was running stuff for a long time. Next, we got Lance Stevenson. I'm gonna put Lance Stevenson in Larry Hughes, I'm gonna put Larry Hughes in Not much to say on them. Like, I think people put those cards in their lineups just because, like, that's just what they did. I don't think it really was like reasoning for why y'all was putting them in y'all lineups. I just think y'all more did it just because y'all wanted to, or like somebody favorite YouTuber or streamer had them in their lineup. Penny, I'm also gonna have Penny in everlasting, and the reason I'm gonna have Penny in everlasting is because, listen, Penny and Klay was the point guard and shooting guard until, well, Gary did end up coming out, but until like season 4 when they dropped the 4 batch of point guards where it was Lonzo Harden, Jalen Rose, and Derrick Rose. Like, these two held a long amount of time in lineups. So I'm 100% gonna have both of them in everlasting to start. My boy, these were the 2 season 2 demons that got us through about 2.5 months just with these 2 in your lineup. We got Dikembe Mutombo. I'm gonna put him in. It's between good for his time and like user friendly. I'm gonna kind of put him in good for his time because most of the people who had him, like, you were able to use him. It didn't take like an OD amount of stick skill to do nothing, but his jump shot was pretty tough to shoot with. So I'm gonna put good for his time because around the time where everybody needed poppers and everybody was running insides, when you needed a popper to come out, Dikembe with a 93 ball came out. So season 1 beginning, we got IT. I'm also gonna put him in good for his time because I'm not gonna put him as far as game changer because you didn't really win a game because of IT, because his SIGs were pretty bad, his jump shot was pretty like, you didn't win a game because of IT, but I do think IT did a great job in season 1 for lasting as long as he did. But as soon as we got like D Wade and a couple other guards coming out, he quickly got replaced. But I do think IT was good for his time, 100%. We got Zach LaVine from season 1. I'm gonna put him in good for his time, and the reason I'm gonna do that right out gate was because specific people had him in their lineup until another Zach LaVine came out. And any form of that jump shot where it's like Zach LaVine, Trey Burke, Tracy McGrady, Tracy McGrady is Trey Burke, but Zach LaVine, Trey Burke, people love that shot. And like, as long as they have that shot, people always use him. So I think he was user friendly for sure because his defensive statistics were like 60. But if you put him in the game, you knew what you was doing, you were gonna get 30 with him. So I like Zach LaVine. Next we got Artist Gilmore, season 5 dog. I'm gonna actually put him in because the lock-ins for season 5, a lot of people didn't lock those 75th anniversaries in because right next Kareem and them ended up coming out. So I'm gonna put Artist Gilmore It's not like he was overrated. He was good, but just don't get me wrong, like, a lot of people, as many people as didn't lock him in, and like they saw no reason to lock him in. So I'm 100% gonna have him in just because. We got Seti next. I'm going to have Seti in everlasting. And the reason I'm going to have Seti in everlasting, he was basically our first base 3 who could do it all. We had Cassie, but he was our first base 3 who could do it all. And I think he did everything he was supposed to. And you can still put Seti in your lineup to this day. He's probably the first mega everlasting card we've had. Everybody liked Seti when he came out. Whether it was a lock-in or not, most people locked in for Seti. Like, the difference between Seti being a lock-in and Artist Gilmore being a lock-in should speak for itself. But I do think Artist Gilmore was good for his time. Just enough people didn't lock him in to where I'm going to put him where he deserves to be put. Next, we got Dwight. I'm going to put Dwight in good for his time because more people had Dwight Howard than, like, you would have presumed them to have. Like, a lot of people actually had Dwight Howard and was sticking him on ball, at least from comp standpoints, or he also had a set shot that didn't miss whites. Like, I think Dwight Howard did his duties and was good for his time. I prefer Dwight Howard over Artist Gilmore as well, even though Artist Gilmore did have normal fade and was a lot taller. We got Gary Payton next, who was, I believe, season 4. I'm gonna actually put him in. It's so hard because, like, I want to put him in user friendly because if you knew what you was doing on ball, you used to like get bare stops. But the fact that Gary Payton, when he came out, and I had him in my lineup too, so this show you I'm not being biased. I had Gary Payton in my lineup around season 4 when he came out for dumb long. everybody had Lonzo on their lineup over him, and it's because Gary Payton was the first point guard to come out who was like a dark matter, and they didn't give him quick shot timing, and that was at the time where we were getting sick of normal shot timing, and like it's just no chance. You feel me? So I'm gonna have Gary Payton overrated just to start. By the way, if y'all loving the video, make sure y'all comment anything y'all want to see added, other tier lists y'all want to see, anything. If y'all messing with the vibe, like, just let me know. I mess with all y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna have Gary Payton overrated for sure. Next, we got Giannis, season 5 guy. We're gonna put him at everlasting. He was out of position. He came as shooting guard. He lasted like 2.5 months. Like, all Giannis cards will always probably be everlasting unless like they can't shoot at all. But Giannis as shooting guard, when he first came as shooting guard, people were literally freaking out on the timeline for sure. So that's that. Kareem, we got Kareem in game changers, because Kareem wasn't as everlasting as Giannis was, and like Kareem ended up getting overshadowed when they dropped the Yao. But when Kareem did come out in season 5, he was the best center on the game by a large margin for a long time. So let's keep going. We got Kawhi. Kawhi was a game changer. I'm not gonna say everlasting because you can't still put this card in, and he didn't run it as long as he should have, but this Kawhi was definitely a game changer when he came out in season 5, around a time where him and Scotty came out and they were the 2 best defenders on the game. The Kawhi was so good. I believe he was in almost everybody's 250 lineup except probably 2 people. So I got Kawhi in game changers for sure. You'll also notice the people who are dark matters, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to be everlasting because like they're still dark matters at the end of the day. Kobe. Next we got Kobe. I'm actually going to put Kobe in good for his time because the thing with Kobe was good, and then he got overshadowed because season 5 started. Because Kobe came out, I believe Kobe came out in late season 5, but like it's still a little bit different because it's hard to explain because I believe Kobe was actually season 4 because he was with the All-Star promo. Yeah, Kobe was season 4, and I think he still did his thing, but at the end of the day, like, he wasn't as much of a game changer as he should have been, even though he did have front clutches. Like, everybody wasn't running Kobe when he came out. He was one of the first dark matters to get the dark matter, but everybody wasn't running them how they should have. So I'm gonna put Kobe in good for his time for sure. Let's keep going. We got Luca. Luca should get his own tier, honestly. Yeah, I'm actually gonna only do this for these two too. Like, I'm gonna only do this for these two, and you know what two I'm talking about, and I'm just gonna title it now. One sec, give me a second. Yep, you see what the title's finna be. Making sure it's in all caps. Luca and MJ. That's gonna be the name of this tier. And it's because even though they are everlasting, like, man, you can, let me find where MJ's at. Here goes MJ. These two can still be put at point guard as of right now. MJ is actually more user friendly than Luca is, but like, you can put these two in a lineup right now. You don't even got to give them all 80 hops. Put them in the game. They'll still score. That's crazy. Like, you feel me? Like, that's crazy. So from that, they get their own tier 100%. Like, it's just Luca and MJ. Obviously, they're above everybody else. Next, we got Chris Mullin. I like Chris Mullin. I don't think he was a game changer, but I think he was good for his time. When Chris Mullin came out, Seti was better than him still somehow because he had base 3, and Chris Mullin had better SIGs and all, but Seti was still somehow better than him, but I think Mullin was good for his time. So that's that. Shaq, I'm going to put Shaq in user friendly because there were a few people I probably shout out like Grussy, me. Those are the only two I could think of off the top of my head. Like, we're running Shaq and they could hit a consistent jump shot with Shaq. Obviously, we weren't going to win a game or lose a game off Shaq shooting jumpers, but they could hit a jump shot with Shaq. So that's why I shout out to Grussy because he definitely showed me the way. But any inside center that you were running at the time, especially when season 5 came around, because this was my 250 center, it took a lot of skill to use a Shaquille O'Neal at the time. Terry, I'm going to put him at overrated. And the reason I'm putting him at overrated is because Terry's card earlier in the year was literally Jesus and everybody had him. But once this dark matter came around, nobody really wanted to lock in for him. The people who locked in for him, I mean, I think you just more locked them in just because you wanted to use Terry rather than like you were really locking in for him. You feel me? So that's how I feel about that as a whole. We got T-Mac. T-Mac, I'm going to have T-Mac in good for his time. And the reason I'm going to have T-Mac in good for his time because I still think Kobe was better than him. But I just think they did what they were supposed to do. They didn't really change the game. I just think they did what they were supposed to do. Next, we got Dolph. Dolph goes in game changers. And the reason Dolph goes in game changers is because he was the first small type big man who didn't miss. I have this list earlier in the year where it was like, if you played versus these players, they never miss open. Like, no matter who you play, you can play versus your little cousin, you can play versus your girlfriend, you can play versus your grandma, you can play versus somebody who's never played 2K before. If they had Dolph, Clay, Steph, or Kawhi in the game in the beginning of the year, they didn't miss. Like, whether they couldn't time a jump shot with anybody else on the court, Dolph, Clay, Steph, and Kawhi, if you left them open, Melo too, those 5, you just had to just get ready to get back. So Dolph goes in game changers because for how early he came out in season 2, he was amazing. D-Rose, listen, my dribble heads, I love all y'all. Trust me, I was as big on them as y'all was. But listen, I'm actually gonna put D-Rose in overrated because him coming out with Jalen Rose, Lonzo, and Harden, he was the worst point guard to like come out with them. And like a lot of, even though we had D-Rose signature size up, which was the best size up at the time, like as many people as were supposed to use him weren't really using him. Like even me, I wasn't even using him. A lot of people weren't really using him. So to that avail, he was pretty overrated. Like, sorry. Glenn, I'm gonna put Glenn in everlasting because the amount of time we have been begging for a draft card that was as good as Glenn Robinson, and I only hope we get one as good as he was in the beginning of the year, period. Like, Glenn Robinson at the power forward position, him and Melo lasted almost so long that I want to put Melo in everlasting, but I'm going to keep Melo in game changers because he was like a level 40. So it was a little bit different. Glenn Robinson was a draft card and lasted probably a month and a half to 2 months. Danny Granger was a lock-in. Larry Bird was out. Brown was out. Those people still running Glenn Robinson and like doing what they were supposed to do with him. So for him being in season 1, I got Glenn Robinson in everlasting. So much nostalgia with these cards. Jonathan Isaac, I'm not going to lie. Nah, I ain't finna put him in game change. That was crazy. I want to put, as bad as I want to put him in overrated, I'm going to put him in good for his time. A lot of people ran Jonathan Isaac, and there was a lot of comp people putting Jonathan Isaac in the game, and for some reason, like, he actually was clamping up, hitting open, doing everything he was supposed to do. He was like the first, he came out with Giannis in him, but he was like a little mini Giannis on the defensive end. So for him to have came out in season 2, I think he did what he was supposed to do. Jalen Rose, I got Jalen Rose in user-friendly. And the reason I'm going to put Jalen Rose in user-friendly was because even though he was like a 6'7", 6'8" guard, you had to really know how to get open with his jump shot and shoot with his jump shot. Like, Swaggy, the person I played in 250K, had him in his lineup. And playing with him outside of the paint with how slow his jump shot was, I think it made him more user-friendly than it should have. Like, I think he was one of the best guards we did get around the time when season 4 rolled around, but at the same time, I don't really know. Karl Malone is next. A lot of people didn't get Karl Malone, and I'm going to put Karl in user-friendly. And the reason I'm put Karl in user-friendly is because he was a 6'8", 6'9" power forward. You had to collect God knows how many cards for him, and he had quick dribble style, and he had a jumper that didn't miss. I think I was the only person in 250 who ran him on both consoles, but if you watched any of my games, the main person who probably was the MVP was Karl Malone. Karl Malone came out in season 5. He was doing people filthy. When I say filthy, I mean filthy. So I'm gonna have him in user-friendly for sure. Boom. Next we got Dunktober Kobe. I think Dunktober Kobe was a game changer for sure because he was the first Kobe we got. He was the first person with front clutches, and everybody else's dunks were getting blocked because we didn't know how gas chase downs were at the time. And then he came out and he just was strutting his stuff all over the place. You feel me? Mike Miller. I got Mike Miller in He wasn't really, I got him as the same thing as Buddy Hield. A couple people dropped some YouTube videos. People started putting him in the game. He was cheap. He was probably 10K. He wasn't really bad. Just, I wouldn't even consider him overrated. I think he did his thing. No kizzy. I think he did his thing for sure. We got AD next. This was season 4 as well, around when the Beast came out. Game changer. AD was in everybody's lineup, no matter who you were. AD was in your lineup, therefore he was a game changer. I almost want to put him in everlasting, but he was for sure a game changer at the time. Next we got Harden. Harden I'm going to put in user-friendly because a lot of people couldn't use Harden. Outside of Lonzo, that season 4 batch of guards we had where we got Harden, Rose, Lonzo. Where we got Harden, both Roses and Lonzo. Lonzo was the only one who was a game changer. Like, you feel me? Lonzo was by far the only one who was a game changer. The rest of them was just like, okay. You feel me? That's kind of what they were, and that's what they gave off for sure. Next, we got D-Book. I'm going to put D-Book in overrated. And the reason I'm going to put D-Book in overrated is because to this day, I still have not ran into a person who has Devin Booker who just be like, gosh, he just kills me. Like, I do think Devin Booker is people who were user friendly and like they could hoop with Devin Booker, but like Devin Booker was one of the most, he's probably still the most overrated card to come out this year because he was never that good, but everybody strutted their stuff like he was. So that's that. Bron, I'm gonna have Bron in Game Changers. This was around season 3 where everybody needed a small forward and a power forward. I think he came out with Rudy Gay and a few other and Steph Curry. Like, he did his thing. Bron, actually, I'm gonna put Bron everlasting. Bron lasted so long. Like, if you had badges or extra badges on him, Bron lasted from season 3 until 250. Like, basically. From season 3 until 250. Around 250 was finally when it was time for him to get replaced. So I'm going to definitely have him at everlasting just because it's Bron. Bron get crazy animations. Like, he was doing his thing for so long for him to have came out in season 3. Cade. I'm going to put Cade in. Ooh, I want to put him in everlasting, boy. But I'm going to put him in Game Changers. And this because he was our first point guard that we got with, like, quick jump shot timing. And it was like, finally, we have a guard. His dribble sigs weren't crazy. His jump shot wasn't crazy. Just was on quick. He was 6'7". K did 6'8". K did what he was supposed to do when he came out in season 5. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. That was my 250 point guard. He did what he was supposed to do. Cincy. I'm going to put Cincy in good for his time. I liked Cincy. Cincy was my starting small forward on both consoles for 250. On both gens for 250. I like Cincy. It wasn't much to say on him. Like, he had Exum. I do think his Exum could have been a little bit faster. I do think his 6 could have been a little bit better, but I liked Cincy. Cincy wasn't really bad. I'm not going to go as far to say he was a game changer. He did have like 99 interior, like 6'6" or something. He was real short. A lot of people didn't want to run him, but I think he did what he was supposed to do when he came out in season 5 for sure. Next, we got Curry. We're going to put him in user-friendly just because it's Curry. All of Curry's cards were always going user-friendly no matter what happens. He came out in season 3. He did what he was supposed to do, but like, you know, he's Steph Curry at the end of the day, so you still have to have a certain amount of pride to even run him in the same sense. You feel me? Next, we got D-Rob. D-Rob goes in everlasting, both of his cards. When I find his other card, I'm going to put him in everlasting. People had this D-Rob power within card in for so long, and when I get to wherever the season 2 D-Rob is, he's going to be in everlasting as well. D-Rob is like everybody's favorite big man because nobody misses with David Robinson. Like, as long as his green Q is like regular, everybody loves David Robinson. So when he came out in season 5, he was doing what he was supposed to do. Evan Mobley, I'm going to have him in He wasn't really bad. He was just regular. Like, he was regular. I wish his jump shot was a little bit faster. And, like, he was just, like, he was smooth. Like, he got a nice card, and he did what he was supposed to do at the time. Next, we got Yaya. Yaya goes in everlasting because this was the Yaya who was a beast Yaya, and until the next Yaya came out, which was an out of position, people still had beast Giannis in their lineup because Giannis that has jump shot on quick all year, and Giannis do what he's supposed to do. At the end of the day, I'm kidding. Opal Kyrie, listen, I know somebody watching this, you was that person who got him from that locker code and win the triple threat ISO and begging people to own ball you so you can get people tweeting with this Kyrie. Oh, he was so trash. Ooh, he was so trash. He might be the second most overrated card after D-Book this year. But I hope y'all did have fun, like, with him in the same sense. Like, I really hope y'all have fun. Like, I'm not here to hate. I hope y'all had a lot of fun with him, bro. Next, we got Embiid. I think this was season 4. Embiid was just good for his time. Embiid came out, nice little popper. He hit his shots. Everybody wished he could have played power forward, though. Like, Embiid did what he was supposed to do. KD was in Game Changers. A lot of people had that KD in their lineup, and KD was going nuts. Like, you don't got to say much more about KD. This was in season 4, around the time when Clay came out. Clay's in Game Changers. He's not going to go in everlasting how the Diamond Clay is because he didn't last as long as he did, but Clay goes in Game Changers. Lonzo goes in Game Changers as well because out of that season 4 batch, he was the only point guard that ran stuff. He was everybody's starting point guard, and Dark Matter Gary had came out, Westbrook had came out, Jalen Rose came out, Harden came out, and Derrick Rose came out. Everybody was still running him, like, until Cade came out. So Lonzo's going to be in Game Changers for sure because he ran the season 4 whole drop by himself. We got Sean Kemp. I'm putting him in user-friendly. He had tight handles at the time. Season 5 card, clutch time. A lot of people didn't even get to get him. Me. A lot of people didn't get to get him, but if you knew how to abuse him, he was like a mini Karl Malone. Like, he was like a mini Karl Malone. I won't say as far as he was Karl Malone, but he was like a mini Karl Malone at the end of the day. So, he did what he was supposed to do, especially coming out around season 5, I'm pretty sure. Next, we got Mo P. Mo P was in I don't think he was bad, but there wasn't a lot of people going in triple threat offline to go get that card. Like, I think he was good, but I'm going to have him in just because a lot of people weren't going through that. PG, next we got PG. I like PG and good for his time. All of Paul George's cards are always good. This level up card, when he came out, around the time Thorough came out, he did what he was supposed to do for him coming out in season 4, so I like it. Reggie Lewis, I got Reggie Lewis in Game Changers. He was one of the first guards on the game, one of the first 2 threes on the game, wings on the game, where you put him in and he was Kawhi Leonard. Maybe better because he could put the ball on the ground. Reggie Lewis was so good, and everybody didn't even get to get him. That was the bad part about it. Me. But I like Reggie Lewis for sure. I think he ran that whole season 4 for a while. Rudy Gay, I got Rudy Gay in Game Changers. He came out with quick dribble style, and he was like doing everything he was supposed to do. He was in a lot of people's 250 lineups as well because of his player build. So I like Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay's always a card everybody's gonna love. We got JT. I got JT in good for his time. For him being a free card, basically that you had to grind, JT was so good. I put him and Paul George like in the same bracket, besides the fact JT didn't have no dribble moves because he had base dribble style or something, but JT was smooth. He was one of the first jump shots on a card that was on quick as well. So I liked him from his season 4 drop for sure. Next we got Big Wilt. I'm gonna put Wilt in user friendly because I basically put him in the same barrel as Shaq. Wilt on defense was Jesus Christ, but offensively you had to be able to hit open with him with his 69 3 ball. You can add all the boosts and Grinches and everything you want to add, but with his 69 3 ball, you had to be able to hit jump shots with him, or else everybody was going to run KP over him, and everybody still ran KP over him. So I'm definitely going to put Wilt user-friendly because he was basically an inside center at the end of the day. We got Yao. We're going to put Yao in Everlasting because, like, Yao was the... What was Yao? Was Yao the season 4? Nah. We're going to put Yao in Game Changers because Yao wasn't Everlasting because it was hard to shoot with him. But for him to come out in season 4, he changed the whole meta of the game. Everybody put him at the center position. No matter who you were, besides, like, if you were dumb, like, you had Yao at the center position once you obtained that level 40 because of how broken the paint was. So I got Yao at the tippity top of Game Changers for sure from season 4. And we got Silas. Silas was season 2. I got Silas in Game Changers because he was one of the first cards that came out that had Hoff Interceptor. And you looked at him, he had Draymond's jump shot. You looked at him as like a better version of Draymond because like his 3 was higher. He had shifty dribble style. He was able to get a bucket. He was able to dunk. He was able to guard ball. He had Hoff Interceptor. Paul Silas was amazing for a season 2 card for sure. Let's see who we got next. We got AK. AK came out in the Beast promo. I got him in good for his time. I want to put him in Game Changers, but we had a lot of defenders at the time, and a lot of people didn't run AK just because he was AK. So I got AK in good for his time because for him coming out in the Beast promo, I think he just did what he was supposed to do. Cassie, we got him in user friendly because everybody couldn't use Cassie, but if you could use Cassie, you knew what Cassie got into. That's all I gotta say. I gotta say nothing else. From him coming out in season 4, I believe. If you knew what you was doing with Cassie, Cassie lasted until 250, and he was people starting guards in 250. We got Steph. I think this is PD Steph from season 2. I got him in user friendly because even though he had Bronze quick verse Steph, he was Steph Curry. Like, Steph Curry gonna do what Steph Curry do at the end of the day. You got D-Rob. You put D-Rob in Everlasting because D-Rob lasted until season 4. That PD D-Rob lasted until season 4 where he finally started getting benched by Yao Ming and a few others. Like, people was running that D-Rob at center until another D-Rob came out. So him being in season 2, I think he was Everlasting. We got Julius Erving. I got him in He wasn't bad, actually. Like, he was one of the first cards that had Hoff Limitless spot up. But as many people as were supposed to have him, like, okay, even though I thought Jimmy was better than... I thought Julius was better than Jimmy because Julius had Hoff Limitless spot up. More people were running Jimmy than were running Julius Erving. So I'm going to put Julius in good for... I'm going to put Julius in, and I'm going to put Jimmy in good for his time because it was real messed up around season 3 because I never understood why that was happening. And Gary Payton, you got him in Game Changers because he was a dog. Everybody had him at point guard. It was him and Penny. Him and Penny were at point guard until, like, season 4. I might put him in Everlasting. Yeah. Until the batch of cards where it was like Lonzo and them came out, everybody had Gary at point guard. So I'm gonna put Gary in Everlasting for sure. The Pink Diamond, Rudy Gay, I'm gonna put him in good for his time. I think he did what he was supposed to do around that Christmas drop when he came out with Steph and Bron them. He did everything he was supposed to do in season 3. So can't really say much more. Giannis. Did Giannis come out in season 2 or did he come out in season 3? That's what I gotta remember. I think this Giannis came out in season 2, and if so, all Giannis is going game changer. Doesn't matter. Like, actually, all Giannis is going everlasting because Giannis stayed in the lineup until he got benched by another Giannis. That's how all Giannis's card. That's how all the Yaya cards is when he comes out. He doesn't get benched until another card comes around and benches him. Hedo's an overrated. I don't gotta say too much. He came out around season 5 and people were still trying to put him in their lineup. Like, no. This is the season 2 Kawhi. The season 2 Kawhi was everlasting. People was running this Kawhi, had him guarding ball for so long, especially because they messed with his jump shot so much. Kawhi was on. He was out for a long time. KD, we got him in game changers because he came out when Dolph did in season 2, and those two were in everybody's starting lineup for God knows how long, and they were the first types of cards that were like themselves. So have him there. KG, I got KG in. It was a level 40. He was coming off just having Carmelo starting the entire season at small forward and being the best small forward undisputably. And then we got KG to come out in season 2, and he wasn't the best undisputably. Like, you feel me? He wasn't really the best undisputably. So I'm not really messing with it as much as I should have. So I'm gonna have him in. Kobe, this Kobe came out. I think this Kobe, when he came out, this was PD Kobe. When did he come out? I'm pretty sure he came out in season 3. I think he was a game changer when he came out in season 3. But by the time his Dark Matter rolled around, I think he was just good for his time. But when this Kobe came out, this was the pink diamond, especially on current gen, I think he was a game changer for sure. Next we got KP. KP goes. When did the Beast came out in season 4, right? KP's just gonna be a game changer because people were running him over Wilt. People were running him over Wilt. People were running him over Shaq. People were running him with Yao because he was the only center that was probably banging with Yao and hitting from deep. KP's animations were crazy this year, and that's why KP's cards will always be good. So I got KP in game changers. Let's see who's next. We got LaMelo. I got LaMelo in good for his time. I like LaMelo. LaMelo was smooth. It was nothing really wrong with him. Off interceptor. I wish his jump shot was a little bit better, and I wish he was able to dribble the ball. But he was smooth. Larry Nance, I got him in game changers. Where's Thorough? I got Thorough and Larry Nance both in game changers because everybody was using these two. Like, one of these two was in everybody's lineup when they first popped off, and I think that's why I'm going to have them in game changers. Magic, I got Magic Johnson at overrated. People were really only using him because he was 6'9". He couldn't run up the court. His dribble style was funky. His shot was horrible. Like, I think all Magic cards this year really sucked until, like, his in-game came out. So I got him at overrated because he came out around season 2. And, like, for him to be 6'9", like, he wasn't really... He came out in season 3, I'm actually pretty sure. Like, he wasn't really, like, popping off. Lamar, I got Lamar and he wasn't like in everybody's lineup, but he was in a few people's lineup. He wasn't really bad for, when he came out. He was just smooth, especially he came out in season 4 too, so he was just smooth. Terry, I got Terry in everlasting because this Terry, when he came out, around season 3, and with the iced out pack, he was people's shooting guard for a very long time. I really like Terry, even though he didn't have limitless spot up. He was one of my favorite cards to use this year for sure. Next, we got Mystic T-Mac. T-Mac's gonna go in game changer because everybody loved this shot when he first dropped. This is when his PD dropped in the Mystic in season 2, and everybody had him at the shooting guard position for God knows how long. We got D-Wade. Next, I got D-Wade in game changer because he was the first guard that could play PG. Like, if the Donovan Mitchell, who was an AMI, he should be on this list as well. If the Donovan Mitchell, who was an AMI, came out and was allowed to play point guard, he would have been what D-Wade came out and did. He was blocking people's shots. He was able to guard Penny. He was able to guard him. He came out in season 3 with the New Year's resolution packs, and he did everything he was supposed to do. I like the way. I just wish he could have dribbled a little bit better. John Wall. I'm going to put John Wall in good for his time. A lot of people ran John Wall in season 2, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to put him there because a lot of people ran, even though I think he's overrated. Wilt. I got Wilt in game changer because for him being the first inside center to come out with Shaq, he was annihilating until Dikembe came out. And he was annihilating Dikembe too For him not being able to shoot a free throw, a midi, or a three, he was annihilating everybody. Scotty, I got Scotty in good for his time because Kawhi was so much better than him, even though Scotty was really the better card. Now, I'm going to put Scotty in game changer. Scotty was the better card, but Kawhi was put, like, you know, over him. Ray Allen is going to be overrated. For him to be a level 40 and not have a starting spot by 250 was ridiculous. I think 2 people ran him in 250, and he was the level 40 that everybody grinded to at the time. So I'm going to have him there. Then I got Marcus Smart. I'm going to have him in good for his time. And there goes y'all list. I mean, this is a pretty lengthy list. I think y'all get everything y'all get out of it. Luca and MJ have their own tier because you can still put them in. Everlasting is just the cards that lasted either over a season and a half to 2 seasons long, or you know you was able to put them in for a long time, which in these look like the best cards that we've had over the course of the year. Like we had Penny, we had Diamond Clay, all the Giannis's, Seti, Kawhi, D-Rob, Draft Glenn Robinson, and Gary Payton, LeBron. Boom, you got game changers, Yao when he came out, Wilden KP, Rudy, D-Wade, Reggie, Terry, K, Lonzo, Silas, AD, KD, Clay, Dolph, Kobe, KD, Scotty, Kawhi, Harden, T-Mac, Thorough, Larry Nance, other Kawhi, Melo, Kobe, Bobo, Kareem, and Bron. I think from game changers up to everlasting are like the best cards that we've had throughout every single season. You got user friendly, which is in the right people's hands. They're the most dangerous cards. You got Cassie, you got Steph, you got Wilt, you got Carl, you got Shaq, you got Amy, Dunktober, Josh, you got ML Carr, you got Sean Kemp, you got Zachy, you got Harden, J Rose, and other Steph. Good for his time, we got John Wall, Marcus Smart, LaMelo, Jimmy, AK, JT, MB, Cincy, Isaac, Rudy, Paul George, T-Mac, Kobe, Dikembe, VV, IT, Dwight, and Mullen. We got Baldy number 2, Julius, Mo Pete, All-Star Evan Mobley, Mike Trasher, Artist, New Year's Buddy, Larry Hughes, and Lance. And then overrated, we got Ray, Double Hedo, PD Magic, Opal Kyrie, Opal D Book, Opal D Rose, Dark Matter Gary, Dark Matter Terry, and Isaac Bonga. If y'all got any questions about the list or anything that y'all think y'all would change, y'all let me know. But I think this right here are like the cards that ran this entire year of my team. And I appreciate all of y'all for stopping by. I hope y'all enjoyed the tier list. Make sure y'all like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Stop by the Twitch stream every now and again and say what's up. We being as consistent as we can. I hope everybody have a good day. Peace.